Welcome to the Old Time Radio Superman Show from Boise, Idaho. This is your host, Adam Graham. Got any comments? Email them to me, adam@adamsweb.us. Cast your vote for the show on Podcast Alley. You can now follow all of our Old Time Radio shows on Twitter, twitter.com/Radio Detectives. And you'll get tweets for Dragnet, Great Detectives of Old Time Radio, and Old Time Radio Superman, all three. Well, we held our vote to decide how we're going to proceed on the show, and as of this recording, the vote is final. The listeners have spoken, and by a 4-2 vote, we're going to continue to do the shows as we have done them always. David Matabias went ahead and sent in his explanation for how he voted. David writes, I'm going to go with sticking with the original format. I rather like having Superman twice a week. 2 half-hour episodes would be good too, but I understand the production difficulties. It's the same in the end, but twice a week feels like more Superman, and that's always a good thing. I understand that. He also says, as for Dr. Roebling's hapless nephew, why is he married to Dr. Roebling's daughter? Isn't that some kind of incestuous thing? Well, it was kind of convoluted, but Chicky was pretending to be Dr. Roebling's daughter. But in reality, Chicky was only the wife of Dr. Roebling's nephew. And our narrator takes great pleasure in referring to her as his blonde wife at every opportunity. What's with naming the female lead bad guy Chicky anyway? Well, some of these names haven't necessarily struck terror in the hearts of anybody. Unfortunately, everybody can't be the Yellow Mask. Remember, we had a series about an evil doll maker not too many months back. Lois Lane was such a breakthrough character for that time period, but the treatment of this other female character seems rather out of place, at least to my 21st century enlightened ears. Well, it wasn't made for 21st century ears. But there have been some pretty strong female characters in the course of the Superman series, so I can't fault them too much on this anyway. But anyway, he concludes by saying, keep those episodes coming, we will do. And speaking of that, we've got a lot more comments, but we're gonna do them after the show or next week. Let's get into Dr. Roebling and the Voice Machine, Part 9.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman!
Look! Up in the sky!
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman! Yes, it's Superman, strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, bend steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. When Dr. Walter Roebling's amazing voice machine was smashed by his vengeful nephew, the elderly inventor expressed the feeling that the damage could never be repaired. The machine, a mass of twisted steel and tangled wires, had been struck a savage blow with an iron crowbar and seemed to be ruined. After Dr. Roebling's nephew had been turned over to the police, and Editor Perry White had gone back to the Daily Planet office, Kent looked on in the basement laboratory of the inventor's suburban home as Dr. Roebling's trembling fingers attempted to make order out of chaos. Far into the night, he watched the intricate mechanism slowly take shape and form. The hours slipped by, and the first gray light of daybreak appeared in the east. Somewhere in the house, the clock struck 5.
No, Kent, I'm afraid it's a hopeless task.
Why do you say that, Dr. Roebling?
Well, when I built the machine, Kent, I worked from a set of diagrams, but I was afraid once it was finished that somehow the diagrams might fall into the hands of the wrong people, and So I destroyed them. I burned them in the fireplace. Now, as a result, everything I do must be done from memory.
Oh, I'm sure that doesn't hinder you.
My memory doesn't serve me as well as it used to, Kent. Now, this wire, for instance. I can't recall in which terminal the other end belongs.
Well, if one doesn't work, try the other.
Well, there are 9,000 connections in this machine. 9,000 chances to be wrong. No, either I'm right the first time or it's hopeless.
Dr. Roebling, you could...
Is that electric drill, please?
Oh. Here, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Just think that a split second of madness could destroy a lifetime of work. Just one split second.
Well, Doctor, does it work now?
No, Kent. No. I've checked everything a dozen times. The trouble is I don't remember. If only I could remember, but it's no use. It's no use.
But you can't give up now, Doctor. Another hour or two may bring success.
Oh, all right, Kent. I'll try just once more. Just once more.
Nine o'clock. Still no luck, Doctor?
No, Kent. I tell you, it's no use. Listen.
Dr. Roebling. Is it all right?
Wait, I'll set the direction dial to the National Cemetery at Gettysburg. Here. And the time dial to 10 a.m., November 10th, 1863. There. Now, if we pick up Lincoln's Gettysburg address the way we did this afternoon, the machine's fixed. Pray, Kent. Pray, I'm throwing the switch.
There's the murmur of the crowd.
Yes.
7 years ago, our fathers...
It works, Dr. Roebling. You fixed it. Listen to Lincoln's voice, clear as a bell.
There must be a kindly providence watching over me, Kent. A very kindly providence.
Proposition that all...
Do you mind if I shut it off? My head's throbbing.
No, of course not.
Now we...
Kent, I don't know how to thank you for your help tonight. I was in your debt before, and now that debt can never be repaid.
Oh, nonsense, Dr. Roebling. The mere fact that you're going to let my newspaper publish the first story about your voice machine is sufficient payment for everything. But I meant to ask you a question, Doctor.
Yes?
Something concerning the machine. Since I'm going to do the story, I'd like to know as much about it as possible. I know you're tired, but I'm sure you won't mind answering just one question.
Oh, no, of course not.
Well, you demonstrated how it was possible by setting the time and direction dials of the voice machine to pick up sound waves no matter when they were created. That is, as long as you knew the time and place, the rest was easy. Well, what I'd like to know is whether the machine, if set for, say, 7 minutes after 10, the exact time it is now, and directed to, let's say, the city of Metropolis, would automatically pick up any and all conversations taking place at this moment throughout the city?
Well, that's a very sensible question, Mr. Kent. Now, to begin with, the direction dial cannot be set for the entire city, since that covers too wide an area.
Oh, I see.
It can, however, be set for the exact center of the city.
Oh?
And you can take your chances on whatever sounds are being produced at that location at the moment. Now, just a minute. I'll show you.
Oh, don't bother now, Doctor. Some other time.
No, it won't take but a few seconds. Now, let's see. It's exactly 7.5 minutes after 10. There, that takes care of the time dial, and now the direction. Yeah, there. Now, something should happen when I throw the switch.
Oh, sounds like traffic noises.
Exactly what it is. We're tuned into a street corner. Wait, I'll change the direction.
What's that?
Well, I believe it's a train.
Why, you're right. We're at the railroad station.
Yeah, well, let's try again. Now, here, I'll turn the direction dial just 5 points.
All right, boys, sit down.
Here's something.
Yes, a meeting of some kind.
You must be wondering what I got you down here for at this hour of the morning.
Yeah, I hit the hay at 6 o'clock. A guy's got to sleep, don't he?
Yes, Curly, this is serious business. You all know what happened to Benson. He got caught. And they're holding him for questioning.
Hey, this sounds interesting, Dr. Roebling.
He's liable to talk, and if he does, it'll be pretty bad for all of us.
What are you going to do?
I'm coming to that. Keep your shirt on. If Benson talks, we're all in the soup, including the big guy, and he don't like the idea at all. Okay. So something's got to be done about it, fast.
What are you driving at, Duke?
Somebody's got to get Benson before he opens his trap and shut it for him. Permanent.
Did you hear that, Dr. Roebling?
Yes, but what does it mean?
Wait a minute.
One of you boys is elected. And he volunteers. I can almost see the yellow running off your spine.
Well, that's a tough job, Duke. Benson's in jail. How anyone get to him?
That's up to the lucky guy. He'll have to find a way. All right, since I figured none of you brave boys are going to step up and take the job, I rigged up another way of doing it. You see this hat? It's got 7 slips of paper in it, one for each of us. 6 of them are blank, but the 7th is marked with a black cross. The guy who gets the black cross does the job.
They're drawing lots to commit a murder.
Well, hadn't we better notify the police?
No, wait, there's time. Listen.
Okay, can the chatter. I'll pass the hat around. Everybody take a slip of paper, just one. Don't open it until I say so. Take one, Lefty. Good. White. Red. Curly. Jake. Come on, Trigger. Joe. And you get the last one, Spot.
Dr. Roebling.
Now, before you open them, get this straight. There's no backing out. Understand? The guy who gets the black cross does the job. Go ahead, open.
I got it.
Take it easy, Curly. Now, the rest of you guys clear out. And not a word about this to anyone. Beat it.
By heaven, Mr. Case.
Wait a minute.
Sit down, Curly. Why did I have to get it down, I said?
Yeah, I'm sitting.
Now, get a hold of yourself, Curly. Stop shaking.
Oh, I ain't shaking.
Not much. Now, listen to me. If you play this smart, you're on top of the heap, see? The big guy don't forget things like this. He pays off, and good.
Yeah, but how'll I work it? Benson's in the city jail. How'll I get to him?
It's a cinch. Wait a minute.
What's that clicking noise, Ken?
He's dialing a phone number. This is amazing, Dr. Roebling. Simply amazing.
Hello? What are you getting for fish today? Okay, Chief. Everything's all set. Yeah. I'll be there. Hello. I gotta go now, Curly. Meet me at the club in 2 hours.
Yeah. Okay.
Guess that's all we're going to hear.
Yes, I'm afraid so.
Might as well turn the machine off.
What do you make of it, Kent?
It's all very simple. Benson, whoever he is a marked man, despite the fact that he's in jail. We know 2 names, Duke and Curly. The rest is shrouded in mystery.
Oh, you should be able to trace Benson easily enough.
Yes, that won't be difficult. He can be protected for the time being. But why are they out to get him? And who was the big guy they referred to? Oh, well, I'll take it up with the police and the district attorney. Don't you worry about it, Dr. Roebling. Just keep the direction dial set where it is. We may hear more later.
But it's strange, but I never realized the voice machine could be used to prevent crime.
Doctor, that machine can rebuild civilization. Wait, what's that? That sounds like a police car stopping in your driveway.
But shall we go upstairs?
I think we'd better. Wait, someone's banging on the front door. I'll see who it is. Just a minute.
Okay, buddy, get him up.
Well, this is a surprise. Do the Metropolis police point their guns at everyone this early in the morning?
Don't get wild.
What's the matter, Kent? Why are these policemen pointing guns at you?
Are you Clark Kent?
Yes.
Well, you're under arrest.
What?
Put the bracelets on him, Clancy.
Well, as Kent himself said only a moment ago, this is a surprise. What possible reason can there be for arresting the Daily Planet reporter? Is it at all likely that the strange turn of events is somehow connected with what Kent and Dr. Roebling just heard over the voice machine? Whatever it is, it's bound to be exciting. So don't fail to be with us next time. Listen in with Superman.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Superman is a copyrighted feature appearing in Action Comics magazine.
Welcome back. in the beginning of this episode, Clark Kent kind of illustrated one of the weaknesses of a super being. Either that or it wasn't great writing, but they had that scene where he's like, I have to reconstruct this entire machine from memory. Well, that shouldn't be a problem for you. Things aren't a problem if you're Superman, but for a lot of us, it's not quite so easy to reconstruct a machine that will save mankind and will reinvent civilization. All right, we have another email. Joan emails in, I just found your podcast in Bravo. You have the same love of old-time radio I have. I've just landed issue 1, and I'll be subscribing in the future. As for the Superman podcast, I listen to them on an MP3 player, and sadly, your episodes don't come up in order and are difficult to listen to. They're alphabetized by letter, i.e. 4 comes before 1. Would you consider using numbers rather than letters? Well, Joan, thanks for the comment. I'm actually starting with last Sunday's episode. I've been trying to preface each episode with EP, and then 0 to whatever the episode is. That's not going to do anything with the past 222 episodes I did the other way. And that's going to take some real time to get sorted out. But hopefully that'll help for the future. All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. We have more comments, but we'll do those on Wednesday's show. Got any comments for me, send them my way, adam@adamsweb.us. Cast your vote for the show on Podcast Alley. And you can now follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/radiodetectives. From Boise, Idaho, this is your host, Adam Graham, signing off.